Hello, everyone. My name is Taylor Springle, and I'm one of the admissions counselors here at Kentucky Wesleyan. And I actually graduated from here as well. I graduated in 2015 with a degree in zoology. And today we are going to talk about student housing and kind of all the details that go into that. And so for that, we brought in special guest Lori. Go ahead and introduce yourself.
Hi everyone, I'm Lori Etheridge and I'm the Assistant Dean of Students and Director of Residence Life here at Kentucky Wesleyan. And thank you so much, Taylor and the admissions team, for inviting me in. Today I get to talk to you all about the three fun parts of my job. I get to talk to you all about housing, dining, and campus security, so all the fun things. So we get a lot of questions around housing and like, do I have to live on campus? Can I commute from home? What does that look like? So I'd say, like, for starters, everyone, regardless of whether you're a commuter or a residential student, you need to complete your housing residency information form. That lets us know if you plan to commute or if you plan on living on campus. We do have a residency requirement here at Kentucky Wesleyan. And more detailed information can be found on our website, but in short, in summary, our residency requirement is that you have to be 21 years of age or older with a 2.5 GPA, or you have to have 90 credit hours and a 2.5 GPA. And 90 credit hours is basically a senior status. So if you are a senior and you would like to live off campus with your friends and you have a 2.5 GPA, we have an application form that we send out to our returning students to look at that. For our incoming students and for students who live in the area, we do have a commuter county radius. So if you live in one of our commuter counties, you may choose to commute from home if that's something that you would like to do. For our commuter counties, basically think of any county that touches Davis County. So when you think of like Ohio or Henderson or even across the river, in Vanderburgh, I think Vanderburgh is one of our commuter counties. So more information and specifics can be found online, but that's just a quick summary. But we do hope that you choose to live with us in the fall. And for all of those students who want to live on campus and are completing their residency information form, we use that residency information form to house you. So housing for new students is done by date of completed residency information form and deposit. And our first housing release is on July 2nd, which you all should be receiving today. So if you've completed that form, I take that information, I download it all into a spreadsheet, and I look at, I sort it by date, and I start trying to pair people up. Like if you have a requested roommate, I pull that information. If you have a specific need that you've noted, I try to note that, and then I just go through and I start trying to house folks. We try to accommodate as much as we can for as long as we can. So that's what I like to note for people. If you are applying for housing and it's like July 29th, I might be able to do less on July 29th than I could have on July 2nd. So that's just something I like to point out to folks. Once students are here, they do have the opportunity to move around a little bit. We do have a waiting period. So once students move in, we go through and we do a roster reconciliation and make sure that we know who's here and try to connect with those who hadn't arrived yet. So once that waiting period is over, and that's usually after the first 2 weeks of school, you might have found somebody else that you would have preferred to live with. We do have the opportunity for you to be able to move around a little bit if that's something that you want. But in terms of roommates, I do all of those by hand. If you haven't requested someone, that is fine. That's perfectly fine. Many students get a random roommate, and we take into a lot of things into consideration. For example, sports. I like to put like sports together. So my favorite thing is not to put like a baseball and football player together, for example, because they have different schedules or keep different practice schedules. So they might be great neighbors, but not necessarily setting them up for the most success as roommates. So we try to put like sports together as much as we can, but that all comes down to we accommodate as much as we can for as long as we can. And then we look at, what are your sleeping habits? What are your study habits? I do really encourage our incoming students to be the ones to fill out that form as opposed to their parents. And you might find that what worked for you or what was true for you in high school is not necessarily what's going to be true for you in college. I was an early bird in high school, not an early bird in college. So some of those preferences change a little bit, and we recognize that. But the most helpful box I would say on that form is, what would you like me to consider when housing you? And students tell me all kinds of things in there that make it really easy or make it easier to pair them up. It is not a perfect process. We do what we can and we use what's reported. But there are lots of supports and different opportunities for you once you come to campus. We have roommate agreements that we encourage all of our students to complete and fill out with their roommate. And that's where you're talking about, like, how often would you like to clean the room? And do you like it cold or do you like it warm? Do you like to, we've already talked about on the forums, do you like to have the TV on when you're studying? Do you like to have it off? But this is another time to revisit that and to have that conversation. And I encourage you all to be real and to be honest and to be open to hearing each other and what each other's needs are. We do have wonderful staff who are trained in everything from community builders to diversity and inclusion to what roommate mediations should look like. So they are a wonderful resource for you. We have resident assistants, which are basically peers. You might be in class with a resident assistant, but they're peers who have signed up to take on this position and who are there to serve as a resource for you throughout your stay on campus. And then we have professional resident directors, and all of them have graduated with at least their bachelor's degree, and they are the professional who lives in the building and who helps oversee the functioning and the running of it. So lots of wonderful resources there for you to bring everyone together. And if you need anybody, there's always somebody around to help with those things. I get a lot of questions about laundry and, do I have to pay for my laundry? I don't know if this was true for Taylor, but when I was in college, quarters were people's lifeline.
Yeah, that wasn't really the case with us. So we actually had a card that you would slide in and out, but it was like a common thing that people would lose them and not keep track of them. So they were like, hey, can I use some swipes on your card? I'd be like, yeah.
So we've done away with the card. No laundry card, and there's no need for quarters or anything like that. So when you are housed in a room on campus, we assign a laundry fee, and that laundry fee helps pay for the machines and the upkeep of those machines and the utilities that's tied to it. So we charge a laundry fee per semester, and you do your laundry as much as you want. So parents, if you are watching, there's no reason for them not to do their laundry, and students, just know that your parents know that there's no reason for you not to do your laundry. So all kinds of fun there. And we do have a laundry room in each one of the residence halls. They're equipped with washers and dryers, and you just go and you do your laundry. We do ask that students be mindful of when you put your laundry in and when you need to change it over, so that way, because it's the whole community that's using it, and it's a part of being in a community and sharing a space with others. We have some wonderful learning communities that we are launching in the fall. One that we had started last year and will be continuing this year is LEAD, and LEAD is tied to a KW 101 class. And in LEAD, we go over the KW 101 curriculum. We cover everything that everybody else is covering, but we also highlight leadership opportunities as we're going through it. Students who sign up for LEAD are housed in Kendall. So if you are interested in LEAD, please reach out to your admissions counselor or myself, and we can help try to get you connected or get you some more information on that. And then we also have Faith and Service. So Faith and Service is a new one this semester, and it is a way for students to explore faith and spirituality. You don't have to be a particular religion or denomination. It is just an opportunity, I would say like a structured opportunity for students to be able to have that outlet and that exploration. So Faith and Service is tied to a Religion 102 course. So all the students who participate in it take the same Religion 102 course. They live in Peoples, and we have some programming partnerships that we are doing with campus ministries outside of it. So we have an additional learning community that we're launching, but those numbers are pretty full, and that's Women in Science Exploration. And Women in Science Exploration is tied to a KW 101 course, and it's an opportunity for our female students to come together and get some additional support with regard to being a female science major. So lots of fun things and fun opportunities to participate in community. We have some very general non-prescriptive methods of getting involved as well. So our staff does community builders, and they take students to events on campus, and they work really hard to get students connected and help you find other groups and activities that you might be interested in. So in addition to that, we also have some themed communities that are less structured. So we have the digital domain, which is basically like if you are interested in gaming, you like gaming, on your residency information form, you just click digital domain. And I know to try to place you in a building like Peoples that has an Ethernet port. Ethernet ports are really important who like to game and like to participate in that. And by gaming, I mean like on your Xbox, PS4, all of those fun consoles that I am not very knowledgeable about, but that my students and staff are. So we have the digital domain, and then we have what we call first year living. And that is on the first floor of Peoples and the first floor of Kendall. We reserve for just first year students. So that's an option on the residency information form, and it is first come, first serve. So, you know, going through that housing form by date to see who's eligible to move in there. But you're basically living with other first year students. There can be a lot of support and comfort around knowing that you are living in a smaller community with others who are going through very similar things that you're going through. They're adjusting to college. They're adjusting to being away from home, likely for the first time. I'm not going to say definitely for the first time, but likely for the first time. And you know, we have our staff who will be able to program and to do some special community builders that are specific to first year students. So it's just another way to get connected. If you don't live in any of those, or you're not interested in any of those, that is perfectly fine. We have lots of opportunities for folks to get connected, and lots of support on campus. I would say that, you know, I was going through our student satisfaction survey, and we had a large percentage of students who reported that living on campus contributed to their experience at Wesleyan. So I think that says something very positively about the experience that we're providing, and the hard work that our staff does. We can always improve, and we can always do things better, but that's the point of having learning outcomes and all of those fun things. So moving on, I'm going to talk a little bit about dining. So tied to the housing a little bit is that if you look at the cost of a room on campus for the semester, if you're a residential student, you look at the cost of a room, that cost also includes the cost of your meal plan. Meal plans will not get loaded for residential students or commuter students until August, closer to the time that they will arrive to campus. So if you look on your student portal now, you're not going to see a meal plan, and you won't see one until closer to the time for you to arrive. So don't fret, don't worry. We do load most of our students, even returning students, onto the 12 meals per week, just because that's the one that folks tend to enjoy the most and seems to be the most flexible to their needs. But if that's a meal plan that does not work for you, then you will have the opportunity within the first week of classes to submit a form back to us. I'll send out an email to all students, and you'll have the opportunity to submit a form back to us to let us know which meal plan that you would like to have, and I go in and manually change that. For our commuter students, we have a couple of commuter options for you. We have the block 25 meals per semester, and it comes with some flex dollars, as well as a block 55 meals per semester that comes with some flex dollars. And then you can just get flex dollars as well. Both of those tend to lend themselves better to commuters and to faculty and staff. And you can always load more meals and more flex on if you run through that. Meal plans, or the block meals, do roll over from fall to spring, but not necessarily from spring to fall. So that's something to note for people. For commuter students or students who are commuting from home, a meal plan is not automatically loaded. You have to opt into that. And that is something that in student services in Winchester or in the cashier's office in the administration building that we can help you with. And we are happy to help you with this. So just let us know, and we have a form that you fill out, and that can be done at any time. So in terms of options, mealtime is my favorite time of day. I love our meal options that we have here on campus. We have an all-you-can-eat cafeteria, and all of our meal options are located in Winchester. But our dining hall, Hawker Dining, you can go in, and they always have like burgers and fries and pizza, and almost always hot dogs if you like hot dogs. And then we have like a hot food section as well, where they rotate it, and you might have pulled pork, or you might have chicken, like some kind of chicken. Sometimes they do like tacos, like a taco themed dinner, or they'll do a Mediterranean themed dinner, but that they have a rotating selection there. And then we have a specialty station, Miss Jennifer's station, which is my favorite, and they do all kinds of things there. She has done everything from a sweet potato bar to a like baked potato bar, or like different things that she could do with chili. They had sushi bowls that they did there, and that was a big hit. So we have lots of different options in the dining hall. You can get cereal any time of day, which is a big deal. You don't have to just have cereal for breakfast, but you can get cereal any time of day. And then downstairs we have the Panther Grill, and there you can get like hot dogs, chicken, or not hot dogs, sorry. You can get burgers, chicken tenders, sandwiches, salad. They usually have a soup option, but it's very quick grill items that you could get. Both at the dining hall and the Panther Grill, you can use a meal swipe, and you can use flex at both of those if necessary, but you can use a meal swipe. So when I talk about like 12 meals per week, one of those meals can go to one of those places. And then we have Starbucks. So if any of you need a quick coffee fix, or you like smoothies or teas, we do have a place right beside the grill that you can get Starbucks coffee and Starbucks drinks at. You cannot use gift cards there, like Starbucks gift cards. It has to either be your Flex or Flex Cash, or you can use like a debit credit card there. But you can get a quick coffee fix there if you'd like. And then our last place is the C-store, the Panther. Oh my goodness, I'm blanking on it. But it's basically our campus market. And in there, it is some grab and go items. So if you would like a candy bar, or you're looking to get just a quick piece of fruit, or you want to drink in between classes, that's a good place to go in, and you can use your Flex in there. But it has to be either your Flex or debit credit card. You can't use cash in there because it's a self-service kind of situation. So lots of wonderful dining options. If you have questions, I'm happy to answer them. Feel free to reach out, and we'll do what we can to get you the information that you need. We can meet a host of dietary restrictions. We have a website that you can go through, and you can see the meal for that day. And if you have dietary restrictions, you can put in what those are, and it'll load for you what some good options might be for you to eat from the menu. And that's for our dining hall. But if you have any questions or concerns, don't hesitate to reach out. We'd be happy to answer them. And then last, I get to talk about campus security. So as a part of my position, I do work closely with our campus security contract. And when you think about campus security, think about, us having folks who are here when our offices are typically closed. We do have a rotation for that. We really like to promote the see something, say something. There is always somebody that you can call if you have a concern or if you need to reach out to someone. We post our campus security number around campus, and someone should always be picking that line up. I really want to highlight that we are all in this together. We are part of a community, and being in a community means that if you do see something of concern, just like if you're in high school or if you're at the store, you want to report that to someone, and that's what that campus security number is for. Our campus security can also do things like late night escorts. So if you are a part of a late night study group, or you were hanging out with some friends in a different residence hall and you would like somebody to walk you back to your residence hall or walk you to your car, they do a late night escort as well, that you can just call that number and somebody would be happy to help you. And Taylor, do you have any questions or anything else that you think that I might have missed as we were talking?
Yeah, so you obviously did a great job, but I get to deal a lot with like parents and incoming students, and they always have those random questions. So I'm just going to throw a couple at you so that anybody,
Perfect.
if you have some of those questions, you can get some of those taken care of. So a big one is, what size are the beds that come with the dorms?
So depending on the residence hall, it might depend on the bed. So some of our beds are standard twin, and then some of them are twin XL. So if you notice on the residency information form, I ask students how tall they are, and it's so that I can try to put them in a bed that they fit in. But I encourage all students to do twin XL sheets. Don't do standard twin, because even if you are in a building that happens to have just as a standard twin, there might be other factors that come into play as to why that standard twin sheet might not work. So our students tend to purchase the twin XL and have the best use out of those.
Gotcha. And then in addition to that, just kind of backpacking off of that, what all is included in a dorm room? So what kind of do students need to bring on the average?
So I would refer students to our online resource. We have a move-in guide on our Residence Life website. But some things that you typically want to think of bringing are our toiletries. We provide the bed, and we provide a desk and space for students to study and use. We have drawers for them to put their clothes in, as well as either a closet or a hutch. So the furniture piece is taken care of, and the furniture that's in there does have to stay. We can't move it out and put it somewhere else. It has to stay in the room. So we provide the furniture. So think of, like, you want your bedding, you want your toiletries, you want things that you're going to need to be successful in class. But then, what are some comfort items? What are some items that's going to help really make it feel like home? If you want to have a poster, or if you want to have, like, if you have a special lamp that you would like, those are things that I encourage folks to bring. Some things that we encourage people to share would include I would encourage folks to share a TV if they choose to bring a TV. We do not have cable on campus. That's not something that our students have identified as being a service that really benefits them. So oftentimes if people are bringing TVs, they're streaming other services. They're streaming Netflix, or they're streaming Hulu. They're streaming one of the many. I'm not pushing a particular service. So they're usually using that. So I encourage, to share a TV, to share a refrigerator and a microwave. I do get a lot of questions about, well, how big of a refrigerator that I can bring. It's really less about size and more about ampage, power ampage. So 700 watts or less for a microwave, 2 amps or less for a refrigerator. But we do ask our students to share those.
Gotcha. Those are all great resources, and you guys can check all of those out on our websites. Down below in the comments, we will put all of the access sites to those, so you guys can go use those. And then just for funsies, I know I get a lot of questions of, what are some must-haves? So what have been some things that you've seen students use and you're like, dang, that was a really good idea, and kind of spread the knowledge?
One of the things, the most interesting and I think useful thing that I've seen students bring is, so I had some students who They didn't know each other ahead of time. They, once they got their room assignment, they coordinated, and they found and ended up making matching headboards. So, we have headboards for our furniture for our rooms, but they made matching headboards, and it just made it feel a little more homey and a less like, here are the walls and here are the bed and the furniture. It felt more like home to them. I encourage students, like a must have is like, if you don't want to have to deal with the tile in the morning, if you're not a slippers person, but you want to feel something cushy, you can bring a rug. I would encourage folks to bring a rug and a shower caddy,
Yeah.
something to host those toiletries in as you're going to and from the shower.
I think one that I never thought of, and then I saw someone else have it, will be in college, naps will be your best friend. Like, you will sleep more in the daytime, I feel like, than you will at nighttime. So if you are somebody that cannot sleep with any sort of light, blackout curtains are definitely a must, or just like darker ones that you can kind of block that light out, because they do come with blinds, but obviously you have to bring your own curtains. So that's a fun one that I've seen, that I kind of learned from when I was a student there, that I was like, heck yeah, that's a great idea.
Well, and something that makes Wesleyan unique to other campuses is that we do allow students to bring curtains. Some other institutions that I've worked at has not necessarily allowed students to bring curtains due to different regulations and stuff. But we do allow students to bring curtains. So make the room your own, like make it space. We have some guidelines that we post and publish and go over with you. But it's your space, and we want you to be comfy. You're going to be spending 9 months in it. So make it your own.
Yeah. Well, thank you so much, Lori. Do you have anything else that you want to add? I know I just kind of cut you off.
No, absolutely. The only other thing that I would add is about some folks have probably received some mailers about care packages or some different package, like rooming supply packages that they can purchase. We do partner with a company called OCM. You don't have to buy anything on there. You're welcome to purchase your things at Target or Walmart or Amazon, wherever you feel comfortable, wherever you typically shop. But it's just an opportunity for you all to be able to purchase something, and some suggested items to get your twin XL, or to buy some packages, some bundles together, if that's what you want. But if you see anything from OCN, that is something that we partner with them to offer our students. Care packages, there's a host of care packages that they can send out to our incoming students. And, if that's something that folks want to sign up for, they are welcome to, but definitely not required.
Awesome. Well, like she said, just make your room your own. That was part of the fun, especially during summer, when I would just find something random, then I'm like, ooh, that would be so cute. Ooh, I definitely need that. And then at the end, you're like, crap, I don't need half of this stuff, but it's so much fun and it's a great time. But
I do encourage people to remember that you have to move at home in May, or end of April, beginning of May. You have to move at home. So whatever you bring also has to leave.
Yeah, there were some crazy
packing
on a futon one year, and that's what my mom said. She was like, oh my goodness, all this stuff, how are we going to fit it? So keep that in mind, guys, when you're trying to live in a dorm room.
I just kept bringing stuff.
Yep.
And then I'd be like, oh my gosh, where'd it come from?
Yes. But thank you guys all so much for joining us today. Hopefully, if you did have questions, hopefully they were taken care of today. If not, I will go ahead and put our contact info down below in the comments, so you guys can reach out to either Lori or myself for any of your needs or wants. But thank you guys so much for joining us today. Bye, guys.